Anything else going on?
I fell down the stairs.
I almost fall down the stairs every day.
Oh, okay. Well, that feels a little more severe than mine. What do you mean?
I'm old.
Every day?
I'm old, so I'm like, oh, shit. Am I going to make it this time?
Okay, so it's more of a mindset than necessarily like you've had close calls.
Well, I've got a dog, and the dog is like, let's go!
Just pulling you right down.
And then I'm just like, hold on, let me get my stability. And she's like, nope, don't care.
My inner ear is acting up today. I gotta figure this out.
What stairs did you fall down?
We just got our stairs from our downstairs to our upstairs, and I got up at 4:30 to go to work, and I was like, I'm not going to turn on any lights because I respect my wife, and I just missed the stair. Like I thought I was there. I stepped, and I must have caught just the edge, and I did some splits action and kind of 360 down the stairs.
Did you hurt yourself?
I did.
Hey, watching with Dan and Tony. Hey, watching with Dan and Tony. It's like watching, yeah.
Welcome to Hate Watching with Dan and Tony. I'm Dan.
I'm Tony.
Each week we pick a topical movie to watch and then speak about.
We got to back up. Topical to what?
Topical to 50 years ago.
Yes. Yes, of course.
We've raided the vaults and gone, well, only 39 years ago.
Yeah. So super topical. Like people are still talking about it today, for sure.
It's like they walked out of the movie theater and they're like, what is everyone else on the internet thinking about this one? That's exactly how
the forums are blowing up, people.
Yes, Reddit. Discord, all the channels.
There's a full Discord channel just to just.
So this week I picked the movie, and I wanted to pick a movie where we got to see the acting chops of one of my least favorite actors, Dennis Quaid.
Which I feel like we need to dig into at some point, but continue with your intro.
And so I picked the movie from 1983, Jaws 3, which came out in theaters as Jaws 3D, so it's a 3D movie. And so all you people that bought 3D televisions 5 years ago
a lot of you.
Probably have this on Blu-ray and can watch this on 3D. We could not.
My old roommate, Ben, definitely has this collector's edition 3D. He's got his 3D TV, and he was like, he invited everyone over to watch it. I did not go.
He invited you over to watch Jaws 3D.
Yes, sir. I mean, not just. It was a whole 3D marathon. He also had like a Hitchcock movie in 3D. I don't know which one. M for Murder, O for Origami. I don't know. But I didn't go to the night, so I can't report back.
You could have gone and experienced hours and hours of 3D movies on a 3D TV before it got thrown in the trash. And do you think he still has this 3D TV?
I know he does. Yeah. No, he for sure does.
Do they still make things for it?
I do not believe so. I think he's like a collector guy. So he's got his 3D corner, which was like, look at how cool this was for a couple years. And someday people are going to look back and it's be like, this guy's like a museum collector.
Gonna look back. People are going to look back.
Billions of dollars someday.
Whew, all that good stuff. So yeah, released in 3D. Converted to D.
Sort of. Yeah.
And
converted to 3.
Clocking in an hour and 38 minutes.
Nice, tight 99 minutes.
The interesting thing is 98 minutes. The interesting thing is I watched it on Amazon and I tried to buy it, but instead it just sent me to my AMC Plus.
Correct. Yeah.
So like I was a little afraid that maybe there were things cut out. There were not things cut out for commercials on the AMC.
Nope,
this
for sure not.
Is you might almost say minuscule.
Yeah, I mean you might think that it's not even a full movie. I don't know. But
you might think of it as more of a TV movie, like something they made and then they played on a Thursday night and nobody watched it because nobody cared.
Yeah.
This movie
still don't. I still don't care.
This movie is a very bad movie, but quite entertaining.
Yes. Yeah. No. It's so bad, Dan.
So bad.
So bad. I kind of loved it.
Yeah, you can't. This one is definitely on the so bad it's good, and
Yeah.
we understand why they made this movie. They made this movie to make an amount of money.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if they did.
Only reason.
Did they?
That's the only reason they made this. Of course, they made money.
And you charge more in the theaters. You charge more for the glasses, right? Like instead of I don't know what was this game. So instead of like a $4 ticket, it's like a $6 ticket, right?
Probably. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know in the later iterations when you could choose, it was more expensive, but I don't know back then. It was a long time ago.
So you weren't doing 3D movies back in the day? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
3D movies have had like this ebb and flow. And so like there's, the sort of the 1955, 56, 57 ones. Then this is sort of a 1970s version. Then there was an 80s resurgence. There's like a Western or two, a few that came out then. And then we were trying to convert everything to 3D for a while there.
Yeah.
8 years ago.
So what you're saying is that you've been an adult for all of those iterations of 3D and you just haven't done them. All right. Okay.
I've seen a couple. I don't like them. My eyes don't process really well. I sometimes also have problems with things moving across the screen really fast and I get flickering in my eyes sometimes. I used to get that. So yeah, I don't go to the movies for the most part.
Okay, that's fair.
So I've seen a few 3D movies in person. I've seen a few with the glasses on TV, and I went to Captain EO at Disneyland, and
what is Captain EO?
You don't know what Captain EO is?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. And you know what? Either do the children out there, Dan. All of our child fans don't know.
Who's the king of pop?
Michael Jackson.
That's Captain EO, baby. Captain EO was a 3D musical experience at Disneyland starring Michael Jackson.
That actually sounds very cool.
No, it's terrible.
Oh, was it?
Oh, super horrible. Super, super horrible. Oh my God, so horrible.
I would have fallen for it. I would have bought tickets day one.
So great. You've never heard of Captain EO. Yeah.
When was this? I don't even know.
In the 80s.
Dan, I was like 0 to 4 years old in the 80s. 5.
I thought you knew about your Michael Jackson history and you followed King of Pop.
I know some things of Michael Jackson's history.
He had a giraffe and the giraffe liked to watch. Okay, so Jaws 3D.
Okay, yeah, let's get this back on
Jaws
track
3.
here.
Let's just start talking. So what do you have any opening thoughts or we want to dig right in?
I think we should dig right in. Oh, my opening thought is there's some people in this movie that I really like, but they're all terrible.
Wow. Okay. That's cool.
Well, I'm going to cover them individually as we go. They each get their moment in the sun.
So we start off with some underwater shots. We see this grouper like hanging out there, and he's like all, I'm a grouper. And there's like
I'm a grouper.
There's blood in the water, boom, and then poor Grouper's head is just like floating in space, and that would have been one of the 3D things.
It's a 3D moment.
We would have seen this Grouper head, but instead what we see is this thing that looks like was rotoscoped in there. So we have like a real background and like this piece of plastic Grouper head that we've put on a thing and sort of floated out there, and it looks like the most fake thing in the world, and I was just... I was excited over the moon. I was like, this is great. I love this. Please do this 100 more times.
This is what gets Dan fired up is bad effects.
Just like the worst effect. Like that wouldn't have even been good in the theater wearing glasses.
Not a chance.
It's just been
That's my thing. There's no way that never looked good. Not even for a second. And I wish I could have experienced it in 3D to have it floating at me.
You can, Tony. Any moment you can drive over to your buddy's house who has a 3D TV and you can watch this.
I'm not going, Dan. You can't make me. You can't make me do it. This was the first of many, 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 many moments where you know that this movie was made in 3D because the effect, the object has like a red and a blue line surrounding it, and it's very distracting to me. I don't know. I guess you can't get rid of that even when you like un-3D it. I don't know.
The 3D it.
The 3D it.
Yeah, no, but it's just beautiful, and you're just
It's
like
not beautiful, Dan.
You don't see the shark. You don't even feel like any menace to that poor little grouper. It's just like the grouper got killed.
And it was just kind of like, it's just, hey, circle of life right there. I get it. We're watching the Nature Channel. I do have a question. Do sharks generally bite small fish only in half, or do they just swallow them whole, you think?
That's a good question. Probably they swallow them whole.
All right,
That's the nature of those. I mean, as we know from these shows is, you cut open the shark and then the license plate falls out and everything else falls out.
100%.
But
only half of a small fish.
He's like, just going to eat the half of the fish.
He filled up on a different larger fish and he was like, there's a small corner of my belly that I need to fill. Num num. Just a little snack.
Let's leave that fish head. There's somebody out there that's going to want to eat that later.
That's right. It won't go to waste. Don't worry.
Delicacy. I did a bunch of reading about the first Jaws movie.
Okay.
And just what an amazing production. Just like everything it went through all these directors, and then Spielberg finally got on it. Then Spielberg tried to get off of it. And then
I didn't know that.
27 writers. Benchley did 3 drafts of it. He did drafts of it. When they finally were shooting the movie, the guy who was sort of in charge of writing it would go and write the pages, and they'd have dinner and discuss what they were going to do, and then he'd work on it, and then he'd hand them the pages the next day. Like one of the greatest monologues of all time, Shaw's Sinking of the Indianapolis. We don't know who really wrote that. Shaw might have written that whole thing. He did. He wrote because he was a playwright himself.
Okay.
And so, there's just all this creative energy went in there. When, Richard Dreyfuss wasn't going to do it, then the movie that he had came out, and it was terrible. So he freaked out that he would never work again. So he's like, I'll take it. Give me.
Right. I'll do the movie that you're already offering me, please. Yeah.
And, and everybody in that movie turns in bravura performances.
And that is where I get upset with this movie.
Yeah.
Because bad effects are one thing. Totally fine. There are no good characters in this movie.
Nope.
Not a single one. And I was heartbroken.
This movie was written on the back of a napkin and directed by the guy that directed it was the second unit director on the first 2 Jaws movies.
Oh, okay. So he's like, I've seen how it works. I can definitely do this. Not a problem.
Yes. Okay. I could point the camera and show you things happening.
I love the confidence.
No understanding of acting.
Yeah, at all. Or even action in the scene. He doesn't have the eye for it. It's all very weird. I don't know. I love it. I had a great time last night, just for the record.
So we start off, we see the water ski show. They're doing the pyramid, and boom.
Super impressive stuff, by the way. I've never seen that in real life, but watching them, I didn't know that you had to be on the person's back to get out of the water. How do you do that? The person on the skis has to have so much core strength in order to pull up 2 people. I can't even stand up on skis. I bend over and I fall forward because my abs can't hold me. To do it with 2 people is unbelievable.
Hold on. Weren't you a cheerleader or something?
Yeah, I was a cheerleader. I didn't have to stand up. I can hold people above I could do this all day. I'll lift you up right now. Put your butt right on my hand. I'll lift you up, Dan. Just like this. But I can't
stand up?
100%.
So you have some stairs that you walk yourself up in the morning? I mean,
no, I have a bed that's very tall, so I just fall out of bed and I'm on my feet.
There it is. It's a Tony way. He's no ability to stand up.
None at all.
So we see Leah Thompson, the woman who would go on to have sex with Howard the Duck. There she is.
That's all she's known for. That's all she did in her career. That's the number one thing. Oh, Dan Goodsell. She's firecracker, that one.
So we have they all fall down out there, and then we have I think we have some of the music, and the boat is like boat engine stalls, and we're like, oh, here it comes, something's gonna happen, something. No, they just all leave.
Surprise, nothing happens. They're building tension, Dan. They're building non-existent tension.
What horror! So then we go to SeaWorld. This all takes place at SeaWorld in Florida and Orlando. It takes place at Orlando, Florida, which is actually landlocked. But then they cut in.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I read. That's what I read.
Wow.
And then they would just cut in like ocean stuff when they needed ocean.
Hold time out. We got to back up. Back it up.
It's got to be on the ocean though. But it's Orlando. Orlando's not on the ocean, is it?
Oh, Orlando's not. Is it? Where is SeaWorld? Is SeaWorld in Orlando? And does it connect to you know what? I should have done my geography homework because I don't know, but it sounds weird now. Now I'm confused.
Well, who knows? Maybe they shot some stuff. I don't know. This is what I read. It seemed like the SeaWorld was on the ocean though. I don't know.
Okay, we need to talk about SeaWorld for just 2 seconds. Did you do any homework on how they felt about the movie?
I'm sure they loved it.
How? This paints SeaWorld as incompetent and super dangerous. I was shocked that I thought they were going to have to make like a fake SeaWorld, like a Sea Life or something different than SeaWorld. Sea Life Visitation Arena. That's what they should have called it. But actually use SeaWorld, I mean, these people get trapped underneath in a tube that barely holds together. It's put together with tape and like gum, as far as I can tell. This is the weirdest placement of I would never go to SeaWorld after seeing this movie. I'd be like, oh, okay, well, I'll die if I go to SeaWorld because there are no safety measures whatsoever.
No, but people flocked there because of this movie. Well, no one saw this movie, so it didn't really matter.
Right. It impacted business not at all.
So we're getting ready. We got preview week coming up. It seemed like they said we're going to let everybody in for free. They're talking to all the girls, and they're all like,
because you gotta bring in the audiences and let them spread the word, and then you make the money. You got to spend money to make money. Click, click, click.
That's what Tony says. So they've spent $34 million. Preview week, the woman's talking to all the girls, and she's all like, your shorts are short enough. As if these girls are going to like hike
them up. Yeah.
Like,
I know.
Okay.
I don't understand that move. They're not getting tipped, right? So what's the point?
Maybe.
Hey, who knows?
So then we meet Lou Gossett Jr., who runs and owns the park. His name is Calvin, and I believe they said he had a colorful past. Which I kept waiting for them to like talk about his colorful past and for him to like actually do something. Like maybe there was somebody in this movie that was like evil or had did something to sort of circumvent things. Like you always, like the mayor in the first Jaws is like, open the beaches. Let who cares?
Wait, we can't do it. We can't do it. Oh, we're gonna do it, and then the people die. Great story.
This one. We don't ever have that. We introduce a few characters that are sort of could be those things. They're just nice people.
They're all just trying their best. They're like, oh man, what a tough weekend at work. This sucks.
So while they're talking, they don't really show it, but they imply with the closing of this gate that a shark snuck in to their like secret lagoon.
Now, Dan, why is this the only safety measure? First of all, I don't know anything about SeaWorld, but this feels pretty flimsy. And why is it open? Is the gate not finished? Are they finishing it here? Or is it open for some reason?
They leave the gate open during the day so that fish that commute can go and then come back.
Well, then you're just asking for trouble, I think. I mean, I don't know anything about sharks, but it feels like just one could wander in, no problem. Maybe two. Who knows?
Well, more importantly, why would you have a gate that opens and closes for, there's absolutely no reason for this.
It's just very strange to me. I mean, there's no point in having the gate if it's open half the time. Yeah. Unless there's like night fish that I don't know about that are more scary than day fish.
We close it at night to keep the night fish out. Keep it open during the day so day fish can go back.
That's right. You got your monster. You got your vampire fish. Only come out at night. You got to lock those gates down.
There is a vampire octopus. You know that?
No. Why would I know that? What does that mean?
He's not actually a vampire, but it's called the vampire octopus. He's so cool. You got to go look him up. Go look up the vampire octopus.
There's some cool octopi out there. I saw one that was like translucent.
I've been watching this channel. It's like, I think it's like the Monterey Bay Aquarium special channel. And they like go with these submersibles out there into the deep ocean and look at all the crazy things. There's like this one fish whose top of his head is clear.
Just the top of his head?
Just the front top of his head is
just
clear.
His brain area?
His brain area and his eyeballs, so he can look out and go, So he can
That's terrifying.
His eyes I think his eyes point up so he can look, so he only looks up. I guess he could turn down like this way.
So he's got to be like a bottom feeder, as they say, right? Like he's got to skim the bottom?
No, I think he looks up and then when he sees something, he goes, chomps up.
Got it. Well, that's a good point. He can't actually feed on the bottom because he can't look down. You're smart. You're smart, guy. Good thing you're watching that channel. I don't know anything.
So you should watch that channel. Learn something.
Yeah, watch the channel, man. Watch it.
So they got to fix the gate. So they try to close the gate. Can't close. When really it was the shark sneaking in, but why the gate doesn't close, no one knows. Whatever.
It's not like the shark is caught in the gate. So I don't understand.
So then there's this weird Muscle Man Mike.
Muscle Man Mike. He's got a bod for days. Good for him.
And so Dennis Quaid's character is like, Mike, fix that, but don't do overtime. And then Mike fixes it in the middle of the night anyways.
Right. Well, because he wants to get stuff done. He's clearly having trouble in his relationship, which we find out later. So he just didn't want to go home.
So the dolphins, there's two dolphins. They sense the shark and they know there's problems and they're like freaking out. They're like not happy. And
Dan, I'll tell you right now, if one of those dolphins would have died, this movie, I would not have finished it.
I really thought they were going to kill one of the dolphins.
They tempt you with it all day. And then kudos for them for not doing it. I appreciate it.
So Dennis Quaid's character, who's like kind of the facility management guy, kind of maybe built this place and then he sort of fixes shit.
They say the lady at one point says, like, I run the shit and you build the shit. That's not what she said, but she essentially says that. And I was like, I don't understand who these people are.
Well, he's the facilities management guy.
So he builds it? That's not what facilities management does. No way. An engineer would build it.
He's a facilities engineer /
he does everything, is what you're telling me. / the fix-it man.
Fix-it man. So the cool thing about Dennis Quaid's character is travels everywhere by jet ski.
Yeah, but not super gracefully. Like someone definitely took time to show him how to do it, but he's not steady on it. Every time he's going, he's kind of shaky. And then when he gets off of it, when he does that cool, like, oh, I'm just going to pull up to the dock and then step off like a man, like he almost falls into the water. And then he like leans down and makes sure that the handlebars it's just not smooth. It's not smooth. It's not sexy.
I've got a little tidbit of information.
Oh.
My boy Dennis Quaid in 2015 did an interview, and he talked about the filming of Jaws 3.
His water training?
No, that's not what he talked about. What he talked about was that he was high on cocaine every minute of the filming of this movie.
That I believe 1,000,000%. That actually makes a ton of sense, if I'm being honest.
So the whole movie, his performance comes into focus, Tony? Is that what you're saying?
100%, because he's high out of his mind, and he's riding a jet ski. He's like, yeah, let's go! Like, that's how he's feeling.
He's chain smoking through this whole movie.
The whole time.
You're like, he'll turn around, and like a cigarette will just appear in his mouth, and you'll be like...
100%.
You're like, wait a second. Who is letting this character smoke?
Nobody. But by the time it happens, they're like, we've already burned so much film on this scene. We can't go back and not because half the time he's just in the background. He's not even like the focal point of the scene. But you look at him in the corner, he's just like puffing away. Oh God, I love DQ. Hold on, let's talk about what's your problem with Dennis Quaid, Dan? What is it? Talk to me.
He's just such a. You can just tell it. Well, I mean, I know he's an asshole, and he seems like an asshole. And
in this movie, he does.
it's like Tom Cruise, like these guys that the more you find out about them in real life, the less you're interested in like dealing with them as characters, because their characters are always like these, I'm the greatest man, I'm cocky and this, that, and the other thing. You're just like, oh, give me a break. You're an asshole.
Oh, give me a break, man. Sheesh. Well, first of all, I love Tom Cruise. I'll die on that hill. I don't even care. Me and TC. Oh shit, we have the same initials. Me and Tom Cruise are holding it down. But DQ, I get it. Have you ever seen the movie Frequency?
Maybe.
I don't even know if he's in that anymore. I can't remember.
There it is. Ooh, what an endorsement. Have you seen this movie? I don't remember what the movie is.
I'm pretty sure he plays the dad in Frequency, and I cried in that movie. I think that's the one, right?
Oh,
that's the one where they like talk through the radio, and it's him and Jim Caviezel.
He talks to Jim Caviezel, and he cried,
right? Because Caviezel, his son.
Caviezel's his son.
Yeah. It's DQ and Jim Caviezel. Yeah. So they're talking through a radio. What are those? What's the breaker?
CB radio?
Yeah, like a CB radio. Yep. Maybe he's talking into the past to his dead father. It's beautiful.
It's probably a ham radio.
I don't know the difference.
Okay, what ham radio is?
Yeah.
It's like when I grew up, this guy down the block had a ham radio, and he had this antenna outside that was like 6 stories high, this gigantic antenna. And then with ham radio, you can be like, you get his postcard that has your call letters, then you send that out into the world.
Yeah.
And then people get that postcard and they're like, oh, I want to talk to this guy in Costa Mesa, California. I'm in China. Then you dial up his secret number and you're like, I'm in China, you're in Costa Mesa, hello. That's what it is.
It could be. Which one allows you to talk to the past? Because that would be the one that they use in the film. They use
that one that talks to the past.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's called.
Anyhow, great movie. You should watch it.
Gotta see it. So this other guy shows up, Philip Fitzroyce, who's like a TV guy, and you were like, this is going to be like the bad guy, and then he's going to be vying for the attention of the woman. Oh, we met the woman, Kate.
Oh, right.
And she's like the dolphin. She's like the head trainer of everything. And he's got like this manservant who's like this other weird guy who at one point talks and you can't understand any of the words he says.
Until the end, when he's like crying. Then I understood him.
You understood him.
Then I got it.
And these guys might be Australian. They might be like...
Are they
British?
Royalty?
They might be royalty.
Doesn't he say like governor? No, not governor. I don't remember what he says.
Governor.
But hello, governor. I don't know. It sounds like he's like an important guy, though. From what I could tell.
And he's there to both video camera, film camera, and still camera because he does something with these things or something.
He's making a documentary, right? Is that what's happening?
I have no idea what he's doing.
I was so confused the whole time, but he's like, we got to get the footage.
I
don't know, man.
Fighting for this footage that you have no idea where it's going to be used or how it's going to be used, but they're going to need that. We need that footage. It's an urgency.
100% big stuff.
So now we begin one of the things one of the strangest things about this movie is what's his name goes to fix what's his name? The Muscle Man. Muscle Man goes to fix the gate.
Yeah.
How did I lose Muscle Man's name already? I'm not even a page into this thing.
Just call him Randy Savage.
Oh, Mike is Dennis Quaid, so I don't know what the Muscle Man's name is. So Muscle Man goes to fix the thing. He goes to fix the gate. He goes to fix it. Fixing it means tying a chain and clicking a lock.
Yeah. So temporary fix, maybe you could call it.
And he's doing this at night with no light.
Yep.
This is a recurring theme of this movie is doing all the work in the middle of the night.
Yeah, well, because then the guests aren't there, right, Dan? You got to do it in the off hours because otherwise you got to close parks. It's a hassle.
So he goes down there, and we're like, okay, now we're gonna see the jaws. What we see a quick shot of a mouth. We see a quick shot
of a mouth, Dan. You see like the lower corner of his mandible. I don't even understand what I'm looking at.
We see sort of a biting motion.
Sorta, yeah.
We see some broken scuba goggles.
Yeah, oof, bad
fall to the
sign.
ground. Then we see an arm.
Yeah, that arm floating out at me. Yeah, big time 3D effect. I wish that the arm moved like that in the water.
That's it.
Nice.
That's it.
Things
That's
don't
all.
move in the water. That's, I think, my biggest problem for these floating scenes is they're very still. But like a water has current and like it would move a little, right? I don't know.
And that's our first. We're only going to get 3 real attacks in this movie, or 4 real attacks in this movie, and that's one of them.
Pretty low. It's pretty low, and they're all pretty bad until the last one. I think second to last one, maybe.
No real tension built up. No nothing.
Well, he turned around a couple of times. He's like, "Oh, did I hear a sound? It's the water, guy. I don't know what to tell you."
Now we get to a bar, and we had Dennis Quaid's brother shows up. He's a cowboy, so they go to this bar.
Dan, at what point did you understand who these boys are?
After I read the plot of the movie. After I watched the movie and I read the plot of the movie on the Wikipedia page. Got it.
Okay. All right. Was that before or after you watched the movie?
After I watched the movie. Absolutely.
Okay.
After I watched the movie.
I was maybe an hour and 15 minutes in, and they kept saying his name Brody. And I was like, why does that sound familiar? So then I looked it up and I was like, oh, those are the kids? They don't hit that at all.
These kids, the 2 kids brothers are supposed to be the sons of Brody
Chief
from the
Brody?
original Chief Brody from the Jaws movie. And they kind of say a thing like where the one kid's like, I had a thing that happened once when I was a kid, sort of.
And then Dennis Quaid's like, yeah, my brother doesn't go in the water. Neither does my dad. Anyhow, I work at SeaWorld. Like, what? You're telling me that a kid that survived a murderous shark decides to go work in aquatics? I don't know.
Seems weird. So we're at this bar, and then the brother goes over there, and they're playing Standoff.
That's not a game. It's not a game. I've never heard it before. I've never seen it. It's not a game.
So in the game of Standoff, 2 people stand opposite each other.
So far makes a lot of sense. Got it.
And then it's kind of like log rolling. You got to knock the person off the log, except there's no log and there's no jeopardy.
It's just move.
It's the
like,
weirdest thing
moves
I've ever
first?
seen.
Like I don't understand the game. I don't know the rules. I know he cheats to win.
And he's doing this with the hot girl, Leah Thompson, and he cheats to win. And you're just like, wow, so, way to first impression somebody hard.
Not only that, but it works. She's like charmed by it. I was like, what the hell's going on here? I would be livid. But my other question is, he's a decent sized guy and she's a tiny woman. Isn't the point to just push her? I'm genuinely asking because I don't understand the game yet. But doesn't he just need to move her? He could do that.
He should just lay one across the side of her face, and she would have been stand it off.
I don't get the game.
The thing you got to remember, Tony, is back in the 80s and 70s and earlier, women were women and men's were men's, and anything a man did would immediately intrigue the woman.
That is not where we live today.
No, he gives her a black eye. She'd be like, "Oh, he's so charming." Twist her arm. Oh, he's such a guy.
I do things all the time and no one's impressed by me. I don't know why.
Okay, have you watched any of these shows? Did you watch The Tinder Swindler?
That sounds like a tickle fight movie.
Sounds just. Did you watch that movie? What was it?
Is it a tickle fight movie?
No, the wrestling movie. The really weird. No, what was it?
What is happening, Dan? I didn't watch it. I'll tell you that right now. Is it about tickle fights?
It was about competitive, not wrestling, but competitive. Oh, jeez, I've lost my mind.
Well,
it wasn't tickle fights, but it was like tickle fights. It was like competitive tickle fighting. No, it was competitive tickling. That's what it was.
That is no.
Oh, you gotta watch this movie. It's the greatest movie ever. It's like a competitive tickle league, and like
this can't be a thing.
Well, it's a thing if that's your fetish and you have more money than God and you pay a bunch of young, attractive boys. Well,
Is that
young,
what this movie's
men,
about? Oh, boy.
That's what
this sounds...
That's what this movie... No, that's what this other movie is about.
Right, not
Jaws
not
3,
movie.
sadly, not about competitive tickling.
Unfortunately, that's not the movie we watched.
So, of course, and that's the thing about men. Men... Oh, you're going to say something about what you have to do now to...
No, I was just saying, like, I do things. I don't do cool things, but either did he. I just do regular things, and I want people to be impressed by me because I did them. And no one does that. No, it doesn't happen anymore. That's a bummer, you know? I think it would really help my self-confidence if people were just like, hey, you took a step. Oh, that's hot, you know?
Tony got out of bed, give him a gold star.
Great job, you didn't fall down.
So then we have like the weirdest part in the whole thing. These guys in the van sneak in with a raft to go and steal coral. Did they get killed?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. No, the shark hits them and then bites their boat and it pops. That was the best part. It was like an explosion.
And did those guys... Okay, so they're doing that. And then Leah Thompson convinces the guy that's afraid of sharks to go swimming.
Here's Dan, listen. A bunch of people got killed by a shark when I was younger. I have a phobia of sharks as an adult. I don't go into the water. Leah Thompson says, hey, come into the water. I'm diving in.
I'm in.
100%.
100%. So she tempts him in. Oh, yeah, so Jaws... Oh, yeah, that's the whole thing. So Jaws is out there. Jaws eats these two guys. He bites their boat, eats them. We see nothing.
Yeah, not at all.
It's literally off screen.
Yeah.
I had forgot to add them into the body count of this movie because
you don't see it.
I'd forgotten about them until I got to this.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Jesus. So in the morning, everybody's hungover, and
this is the best scene of the movie.
Oh, this is your favorite scene?
This is my favorite scene of the movie.
What
happens when it opens up? First time we see Dennis Quaid in the morning. What's he doing? Do you know?
Cocaine?
Well, no, that was right before action. He was like, okay, roll camera.
What was he doing?
He is holding the ears of his basset hound while the basset hound drinks water on the table. It is the most glorious thing I've ever seen in my life. I was out of my mind. I loved it. I was crying because I was laughing so hard. It is so great. I have no idea what's happening, but it's what a gentleman, you know? What a sweet, sweet man.
We never see this basset hound again the entire movie. We have to figure out what this basset hound's eating and drinking ritual is in the morning, just because it builds out Dennis Quaid's character.
It does.
We know he's a caring guy because he cares about that basset hound.
He's a great man, just holding the ears of his adorable pup as it drinks its water. I loved it. It was the best. It's the best moment in cinema history, I think. I loved it.
Then he puts the basset hound on the floor. And then we do this whole weird breakfast. We do this whole breakfast thing with his brother, and the brother's hungover, and he's like, I got to go to work, and I'm so wired already. I don't need...
Because of the cocaine, for sure.
So now we just have some more SeaWorld stuff. Philip Fitzroyce is hitting on the girl, trying to get her to go to drinks. And then we get one of the other greatest scenes in this film is the dead guy who died trying to close the fence. His girlfriend comes over there and throws all this guy's mail at Dennis Quaid's character. As if Dennis Quaid has some control over this psycho.
And also, why the mail? Like, is part of the reason she's so upset is because the mail is stacking up on the counter? And she's like, this guy doesn't open it! You son of a bitch!
After a day.
Not
even a day. Like an evening. Oh, I guess it's been a day. Because we've had 2 evenings.
You know, the mail came at least once. Let's just say that. But he got a lot of letters in that one day.
And I think isn't this the point at which Dennis Quaid the girl goes through the mail
Yeah.
And is like, well, he probably didn't take off because this is a check for $1 million.
And he was definitely waiting on it since yesterday. So big stuff.
She does big detective work to figure out about
stupid.
To try to explain to this other female character that we're never really going to see again why what's his name didn't really leave, and he's probably just drunk somewhere in his own filth.
For sure. And also, I think this is the scene where 100%. Dennis Quaid says that he's probably just AWOL.
Yeah.
But he spells it. I have never in my entire life heard someone spell it. He's just like, yeah, he's probably AWOL right now. What? Who just doesn't say? Do people spell it out? I've never heard that before.
I think you can spell it out.
You certainly can. Because it is just, the letters, but people say AWOL. People that know what's going on, they say AWOL, Dan.
Tony.
And then the best part is at the end of this, the lady she's like, I'm mad at him, but I don't mean him any harm. I don't mean him any harm. And I was like, what is happening right now?
It's goodwill.
Very strange.
Goodwill.
But unfortunately, much harm became of him.
Oh yeah, he's super dead.
Yeah.
So they decide to take like this mini yellow sub out into the lagoon.
This is the best effects of the movie.
So cool. So the whole setup is there's like this sort of central chamber.
Yeah.
And then these sort of radiating arms that you can walk through and basically see under the ocean.
Which are not held together well.
No. And then there's like a Spanish galleon you can look at. And then
which is cool.
Somewhere there's a command center that looks out on this. We're not quite sure where that is.
Totally unclear because it's not the center of it, which is what I thought until they showed them in two separate places. Yeah. I'm like, okay, what?
So we have literally the worst special effects ever. We see this little sub going like this.
And we stay on it for a while as if it's cool.
It's so good. It's so wonderful. It's so good. So I think they go over to the Spanish galleon to like look for the body, and they get out of the little sub, and then they're not at a Spanish galleon. They're just at like some busted old ship that they found somewhere.
Yeah.
And then the dolphins are doing there, and then we get an eel jump scare, and then Jaws, a little white shark rams the boat.
Little baby shark, yeah.
Yeah, and then they have to escape by dolphin. So they hold on to dolphins, and dolphins swim them away.
Which is pretty cool. I mean, the dolphins are like warning them this whole time, too. They're like, something's coming. And I love that they come and like pull them away. I think it's
So yeah, this movie did have actual trained dolphins that did stuff. And then they just leave this little sub there, and we never see the sub again.
I mean, because it sunk, right? That had to be what happened because
it sunk.
It's full of water and it's no longer running. I don't understand anything.
So they escape by that shark, and then the shark hits the gate. What the hell is that? It's literally like she's like, oh, it's 10 feet long. So we're like, oh, it's 10 feet long. We're all confused. We're the people out there. We're like,
it's a small little baby.
We're like, how did that eat that other guy? It's like this baby shark.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, if I'm being honest.
So then we get upstairs and we all talk about it. Everybody comes and we talk about it. Yeah. And we're all like, should we kill it or capture it or film it or this? And then the girl wants to like go. She's like, oh, we got to capture it. Then we'll have the only one in captivity, and that'll be the greatest thing ever. And that's the plan.
Which is, listen.
Good plan.
I mean, it's not a great plan, but it's better than killing it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, sure. I think the better plan is just to send it on its way into the ocean. You know what I mean? Fuck off, people.
But that's not the human way. The human way is to grab things to try to make themselves bigger.
You're right. We're a terrible species.
So what we do is we set up at night to go after the shark. The girl has like a metal suit on. We've got injectors to inject in it, and then we've got grenades, which we argue about, and then we choose not to use the grenades.
Which is, yeah, of course.
Yeah, because grenades probably not going to be effective at capturing this thing.
subduing the creature. Yeah.
So they go down, and then the shark sort of attacks, and then they're sort of attacks.
Yeah, it's just there mostly.
And then it's swimming, and then he's like, okay, and he shoots the crossbow. Dennis Quaid shoots the crossbow and sticks one buoy into it.
Yeah, oh yeah. Harpoons that SOB.
And then in the next thing, he's captured.
Yep. Listen, you don't need to know the specifics of how it worked, Dan. All right, you get it. He hooked it on the fin, and that's it. That's all you need to do.
So the people going in the water didn't really get footage, didn't really do anything. There was no reason for them to do anything.
Correct.
And they caught the shark
they were like
by
the live
shooting
bait.
They caught the shark by shooting it in the fin with one buoy.
Yeah, and then he just reels it in, just like regular fishing.
So now we're going to get to my favorite part of the movie. We're in the inner tank. We got the shark. The shark is, it's not even 10 feet long.
It's for sure not
6 or 7 feet long.
It's a person length, yeah, without a doubt.
And it is plastic.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not moving. It's pretty shiny.
So they're like moving it around because you got to keep the moving through the water to keep the gills alive.
Yeah.
And then Dennis Quaid jumps in, and then the shark attacks, which, means that they sort of move it towards
just kind of
themselves.
Throw the fish at the other person. It's like a hot potato situation.
Then they all jump out, and then we cut to different footage of a shark swimming, and we're like, he's fine.
Yeah, okay, Dan. They're like, oh, he was just waiting. I swear they say this, that he was playing dead or something like that. I swear they say that, but then that doesn't come back later. In the scene where he, turns over, which is the worst scene in the movie, I thought he was playing dead again. So I was waiting for him to come back to life, and he never does. And I was like,
"Oh, you mean later? Don't tip the."
I'm sorry.
Don't tip the bit, Tony.
I thought that they were doing a callback to this.
I got to talk about my.
All right, talk about your favorite.
Yeah, well, yes, that would have been something you could do in a movie, but this is not a movie. So. When I was a kid, we had a thing called the $6 Million Man. Do you know what that is?
Okay. I've heard it.
You've heard it, or you've heard of it?
Heard of it.
Okay. I mean, what do you listen to on the radio? So at one point, he fights an alligator, and basically the alligator was just a piece of wood that someone sort of carved to look like an alligator.
Sure.
And you see him picking up this piece of wood and rolling over and fighting this piece of wood.
Sure.
And even as a small child of 9 years old, 8 years old, I knew he was fighting a piece of wood.
Yeah. Okay.
This shark was so plastic, not even an infant, a 1-year-old would think it was actually a real life shark.
I believe that. Yeah. I mean, infants are smart these days, though, Dan. We don't give them enough credit.
So the big boss is move the fish, put him out in the tank where everyone can see him. Okay.
And they're like, no, don't do that. And then he does it anyhow? What the hell's going on?
He's the boss, of course.
He's the boss, but he's got a fish lady. Listen to the fish lady. That's what she's there for, right?
No, opening weekend. We gotta seed the waters to get everybody to come back next weekend too.
You're right. It's all about that money.
Now we have 20 minutes of the pig dance and the silver bullets, who are people that do water ski jumps.
Yeah. Because it's SeaWorld. Everyone come down to SeaWorld. Look how fun it is.
So we also get to see the tunnels. The tunnels are actually a fun house with more moray eels that 3D at you. Tentacles
really
that grab you. Yeah, good stuff.
Good stuff. Great effects. I'm sure people loved it.
So Leah Thompson takes Cowboy to the bumper boats and convinces him to go out on the bumper boats. So they're in jeopardy because they're on the water in bumper boats. And then the girl and Dennis Quaid go to the tank where the shark is, and they're like, you can't do this to the shark. And they jump in there and they try and move the shark around. And then they just roll it over, and they're just like, it's dead.
Right. I mean, yeah, I think you're supposed to think that it rolled itself over, but you can definitely see them turning it, which made me laugh really hard. But this is a fucked up scene, man. That's really sad. They just killed this baby shark because of humans.
The humans killed the baby shark, and I guess there was like a baby cries right as the right as the shark dies, and so that was like supposed to be reminiscent of the shark's death cry.
I'll tell you right now that I have a hard time believing that because not a single person in that scene cares at all. Nobody told the extras what was happening, I think, because they're all just like,
huh. They all walk away. They all just walk, they do all walk away. They all do walk away.
Nobody people would be screaming, Dan. They just watched a shark die in front of them. They would be upset. People would be upset.
No, this was 83. No? Sharks were the enemy back then. Yeah.
So well, then they should be cheering. Someone should feel something, Dan. 50 people surrounding a tank all have nothing on their face and then just stroll away.
Well, because they didn't see a creature die. They just saw a piece of plastic get rolled over.
It's called acting, Dan.
It's called acting. So we go back to the tunnels, and then we see like the head of the dead guy float up through one of the portals.
Pretty fun.
Okay.
Pretty fun.
The body. And then this is like the weirdest part. They also were in this bar, and they have like all these sharks in like a shark bar where it's
Thank
there's
you.
this
Okay,
big
so
shark
they
tank.
are sharks, right? Because they look.
Yeah.
Okay,
there's tons of sharks.
I thought the same thing. I was like, wait. But I guess they're not great whites. There must be other kinds of sharks that look very much similar to the same great white. I don't know.
Well, there should have been a whole thing where they're like, well, we got the shark bar. We got to put the great white in with there.
That would make perfect sense, Dan.
And then he says, no, we got to exhibit it out here with the public. There's a whole bunch of things you could do with that, and they didn't do any of them.
Correct.
So they just look out there and they see, I think they just look out there and they see the giant shark, right? The 35-foot shark.
They uncover the body, and they know that it's a bigger shark out there.
Oh, okay.
That happens first because they both go and look at it. And then that's why they go to the shark bar to tell Mr. Gossett Jr. They're like, hey, there's a bigger shark out there. And then they look out there and they're like, oh, hey, there it is. Perfect timing, Mr. Shark. We were just talking about you. Your ears must have been tingling because here you come, just as we're talking about you. Real dumb. Real dumb stuff. Yeah.
He's like, okay, now I can appear. Everyone's been down there for like a day and they haven't seen this big shark, but
days.
Right at the thing, boom, big shark. So the ski show is going out there, and then this is like the mad dash. Dennis Quaid runs out there and is like has to alert everyone to get out of the water, get out of the water, get out of the water. And he's running and screaming,
they do not listen,
and grabbing microphones and yelling, and no one's really listening, and nothing.
But thank God that he's on cocaine because the energy in this scene is off the charts.
So all the skiers survive. Everybody survives. Finally, we get to the bumper boats. Shark attacks the bumper boats, sort of. We don't see anything. Yeah. And we drag Leah Thompson out there. She's got this big bloody gash on her leg.
Yeah, she's all messed up. I'm upset.
That's it.
Yep, that's it. Everyone else gets out. Yeah, they just carry her out, and then she goes to the hospital.
Were you very disappointed that none of the water skiers got killed?
Not only was I disappointed, but I was confused because there was like a good 3 or 4 minutes where the shark is like swimming next to them. The fin comes up, and then they all fall down, and it's like carnage, baby. Nothing. What are you doing? Give me something. Kill some people, guys.
Nobody killed. So Calvin gets on the mic and is like, everyone get out of the undersea caves. Everyone out of the undersea caves. And then the shark's like sees that there's people in there. Is like, ah. And so he rams the thing, cracks the pipe.
Breaks it. He only hit it once. You're telling me.
Twice.
Did he hit it twice?
He hit it twice.
Still, twice is not very many times, Dan. Okay.
He's a big shark.
It should take more than that to take down a place where we're supposed to walk and breathe and live.
So nobody in the tunnels gets hurt. They all somehow run out easily. Sort of.
Yeah, sort of.
But these other people are trapped in the center thing.
Yeah, because they shut all the doors because the water was coming in.
Yeah, but everybody in the tunnels just safe. We don't have any jeopardy. Nobody gets crushed. Nobody gets run over. Nothing. Nothing
It's
happens.
the 80s. We're all very polite at that time. So we orderly walk to the exits and it's fine.
So Dennis Quaid's got to make this tunnel patch that's going to patch the thing that the shark broke with its nose. And then we have a press conference. At the press conference, the guy talking to everybody is a dude in a tuxedo.
Yeah. Because it's opening weekend, baby.
There it is.
Dressed to the nines.
So the plan is they're going to lure Jaws into this pipe where he had hid and slept for some
I'm very
amount of
confused.
time.
I don't understand at all.
So Fitzroy and his boy go down there. They're going to trap the shark in the thing while Dennis Quaid goes and fixes the thing. So they go down there, and then there's just all these murky shots where you can't tell anything from anything.
There's like a 12-minute point in this movie where I did not know what was happening at all, just because I couldn't see anything.
There's like a rope that breaks. There's like they close him in there, but then they're closed in there because the rope breaks. Yep. And then Fitzroy gets eaten, and then we have all these shots which are Fitzroy's point of view shots looking back out through the mouth of Jaws. And they don't give it to us once. They do it like 3 times. It's so weird.
It's so weird. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my life, and I adored it.
It was pretty great.
It was great. I did not know who got eaten. Had no idea. I was like, who was that? And they don't ever really even tell me. At the end of the movie, I was like, well, I guess it was the Australian dude because he never came back.
Yeah, we know it was him.
I'm telling you right now, Dan, I did not know. I thought there must have been a third guy because I was like, they're not going to unceremoniously kill this guy who's basically been a main character. But they did. They did. He just got eaten and nobody seemed to care except for his friend. And
so the shark is ostensibly trapped. And then
supposedly.
And then Lou Gossett Jr. is like, okay, turn down the pumps and we'll drown the fish. And then I think what the shark does is the shark waves its tail. Yeah. And it waves its tail so hard that it bends the metal pipe and bursts the thing open.
It's something like that. I can't corroborate that story. I don't know. But he does something and breaks something and then he's free.
And then I guess he backs out. Beep, 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 beep. And then he's free. And so then here comes the Dolphins are like, okay, enough. Come
on, man.
So they start booming it. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see what happens then.
Kind of reminiscent, now that I'm thinking about it, of the raptors in Jurassic Park, where like at the end it's the T-Rex in the thing, and then the raptors come and save the people.
Well, I think in real life dolphins kill sharks all the time.
Holy shit, really?
I think so. I think dolphins kill sharks. I think they're like,
that's the coolest thing I've ever heard.
I'm pissed off at you. I'm just going to kill you. They nose them to death.
Dude, dolphins are badass, man.
Dolphins.
I love that. Good for them.
They're the humans of the ocean.
Well, they're probably better than us.
So he does the welding. The water goes down. Everybody's getting out. The shark comes to menace Dennis Quaid and his girlfriend who are in the water now.
To menace Dennis. Come on. That was on purpose.
And to get away from the shark, all they do is sort of slide on the other side of the tunnel. And then they just leave.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
They were menaced about 0%.
Very few times does the shark actually cause much trouble.
No, not really.
The shark seems to be like an opportunist. If someone's in the water, I'll eat you. But I'm not going to do a whole lot of work in between. I'm not going to really chase you too much or attack. I'll take a bite. If you're in my mouth, great. If not, fuck it. I'll move on.
So they go back up into the command center, which I guess is connected somehow. And then Jaws is like, okay, no more command center. Then we have this giant plastic shark come very slowly.
All right, Dan.
Very slowly.
It's
very
so slow, and the shark doesn't move. It doesn't swim. It's just fucking floating there. I have no idea who said okay to this shot. Who was like, this is a great effect. Let's keep this in the movie. What do you think? Like 30 seconds of it just slowly moving towards them?
It's not that long, but it feels like it's that long.
It felt like
so
12
terrible.
minutes. I swear to God.
It was so good. And then the glass goes, and then we have a big plastic shark mouth in there, water flooding in. He eats Calvin's, I don't know if it's Calvin's cousin. I think it was his cousin.
I don't, you know way more about these people and who died than I do.
He said it at one point that he was his cousin.
Oh, okay. Great.
And then they're in there, and then they see that somehow Fitzroy is still there, and somehow he now has a grenade.
Wait, you're telling me that is the Australian dude?
Yeah, of course it is.
I thought it was the guy who got eaten in the room then, because I was like,
No.
How can that guy still be in the mouth?
Still in the mouth. He swallowed another person, but Fitzroy's like sort of stuck in his esophagus. Like, I got Fitzroy in my esophagus.
The shark's using him as dip. You know, he's got him tucked into his cheek and just sucking on him.
What are you talking about? Dip? Do you load up your mouth with ranch dip and then you chew up a chip?
No, dip, tobacco, you know?
Oh,
chewing tobacco. Dip. They call it dip. The cool people, you got to be cool to say dip, okay? I'm dipping all the time. I'm dipping things and putting in my mouth.
Yeah, you're getting like hideous cancer burns in your lips.
Well, yeah, probably.
Oh, God. So there's a grenade. So Dennis Quaid has to like fashion a little hook, and he has to sort of
so stupid.
The shark chomps down, and then he has to wait for it to open, and then he reaches in and he's trying to get the grenade. And the third time he hooks the pin.
Yeah.
They dive behind a thing, and paloosh! Explosion of red, and then Jaws' jaws fly out in 3D towards us.
Ridiculous effect.
And
as a plan, this feels terrible to me.
It wasn't a plan.
It's such a long poking device. Not poke, but hooking device. Like in order to actually get because the ring is very small on a grenade.
No, it's not. Ring.
Okay, that big, but he's 15 feet away with an unsteady thing.
No. That thing is not 15 feet long. That he's sticking his arm into the jaws.
No way. You think he's inside the shark?
Yes.
Just like Fitzpatrick. What's his name?
Fitzroy.
Yes.
Philip Fitzroy.
I don't know, man.
Her Majesty Secret Service.
Not anymore. So,
Governor! What?
I just yelled governor. Don't worry about it.
Jesus. So it's the morning. We're out there. The one dolphin shows up, and they're like, oh my God, it's the other dolphin. And the other dolphin shows up. And then the final scene is the dolphins are jumping on the side, which is scoped in there.
Yeah.
And they're in the center. And
here's my problem with this scene. Dennis Quaid looks pissed the whole time.
Oh, does he?
The lady is like, overjoyed and like, I'm having a great time. And he's just scowling the whole time next to her. He's like, the whole scene.
She's all over him through this whole movie. She's all over him.
Yeah,
I love
maybe
you.
He wasn't into it. Maybe he was just like, I hate my life. Give me more cocaine.
We didn't talk about their whole subplot where he was going to move to Venezuela and he wanted her to come and she didn't want to come. She wanted him to stay. And then, of course, she's like going to give up her job to go and follow the man.
She's going to give up her life and follow some fuckwad.
Smoking dude. And that's the end of the movie. Things I loved about this movie, the plastic baby shark was just like the greatest thing ever.
Yeah. Luckily they agreed because they really hit it hard. They brought that thing around a bunch.
All the 3D effects, not in 3D, just wonderful. The Basset Hound scene, which Tony brought up, which I'd forgotten about, which was like so weird.
Good. I love it so much.
So this is one of those, drinking movies. Drink every time Dennis Quaid doesn't have a cigarette in his mouth, then he has another cigarette in his mouth. There's all sorts of things you can do.
Yeah, some bizarre stuff.
So Tony, tell us why you love this movie.
The Basset Hound thing is honestly my favorite thing I've ever seen. I don't know what tops that. But in general, it's just I love stupid movies. That's half the reason I agreed to do this podcast with you is I love stupid, shitty movies. And this is a great example of a stupid movie that's so stupid it's fun.
Yeah. so stupid it's fun. Kind of like Monster
Yeah.
Squad, one of those
Nope,
movies.
not like Monster Squad at all, because Monster Squad should have won a fucking Academy Award, okay?
For doofusness.
It's not even an award.
No.
You take it back.
That's why it didn't win.
That's
Because they haven't put doofusness on the Academy Awards.
doofusness. You son of a bitch.
So, Tony.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about something you liked this week, in addition to Jaws 3.
In addition to what we watched, of course.
Yeah.
It's this. You're not going to like my pick this week. My
Jesus
pick is
Christ.
just the Olympics.
Oh, that's
It's pretty much all I've done all week. This is the most I've ever watched the Olympics before.
Yeah.
And it's all thanks to Peacock, which, by the way, guys, is not our sponsor. So this is just me saying this right now. I love Peacock, and I think they're doing a tremendous job covering these Olympics. They did a horrible job doing the Summer Olympics just a little bit ago, but they learned from their mistakes, and I think they're doing a great job. They got live coverage of USA and NBC that you can watch, but they also break it down by event, and you can just watch the event you like. It's great. They're doing a great job, and I'm having a wonderful time, and some of the drama that's happening is unreal.
Did you watch
Better than any movie that we ever do.
Watch that little Russian skater fall on her ass 12 times?
I don't like the way that you said that, but I did. I was on her side.
Oh, you're rooting for the cheater? You're just like, please cheat more. You deserve to win because you're cheating.
I mean, cheating. I have a problem with those words.
So you like Lance Armstrong? You're like, great guy. If I have a kid, I'm going to say, be like Lance Armstrong and cheat as hard as you can.
I was never a huge fan of Lance. I mean, good.
But you should be.
Barring the cancer and stuff. But
you're a fan of him now, though, because of all of his cheating.
No. Because here's the thing: is she's 15, okay,
and a cheater.
Yes, she's trying. Because here's the thing: yeah, no, I'm not saying she's not cheating, and whether or not she should have been able to compete after it came out is a totally different story. But they chose to let her compete, so that's where we are. And I think everyone's being very mean to this 15-year-old girl. And when she got off the ice, the first thing her coach was saying was like, "Why did you fuck up? You were terrible." Blah blah blah. It's like, oh my god, no wonder she's doping. Someone's got to put their arm around this girl and be like, "Hey, listen, life is not about figure skating. Let's get you on the right track."
Tony's got an extra bedroom. She can come there, stay there for free. She could be an American.
Listen, not only do I not have an extra bedroom, but you're paying rent if you're coming here because I can't afford another mouth to feed.
Wow, the tables have turned, Tony.
The tables have turned.
I thought your beautiful invitation for this poor little communist that got screwed by coaches and stuff. You're ready to open up your heart to her, but no.
Here's how I know that it's terrible over there. It's because the woman, she's 21. The woman who got second was beside herself and it's like, I'm quitting skating. This is the worst day of my life. I'm not first. Like, the culture is terrible over there. It's awful. And these young people are getting swept up, and it's really hard to watch for me.
Poor young people. But Peacock is making it available to Tony 24/7. The heartbreak, the triumph.
That's a good plug.
What was it? What's the wide world of sports? The triumph of agony, the defeat of being defeated.
Yeah, it's tough. But listen, there's some great stuff happening as well. It's really fun.
We've been watching some of it, and it's always very enjoyable. And Bob Costas isn't there, so goddamn, it's great.
Goddamn, it's great. Love it.
I've been watching Foundation on Apple TV.
And that's not The Fountain. That's what I'm thinking of. Ignore me. What's
no,
Foundation?
It's not The Fountain because it's called Foundation. It's from an old Isaac Asimov series of books. Some hard science fiction. They changed things up a lot from the books, and I've super been enjoying it. A lot of the hardcore science fiction fans are angry. They're like, this is not exactly the same as the book. How dare they? Curse you, Apocalypse.
Wow. Go cry.
Wow. So I've been enjoying that. So, Tony, tell us about another movie that we should watch.
I'll be honest. Here's the problem, Dan, is it's hard to follow up a Jaws 3D for me.
Hard.
Because almost anything's going to be a disappointment. So I was like, I hate throwing things out that are going to suck. But
because it's been like a year since we've had a movie that was as fun as Jaws 3.
100%. Yeah. No, we're in a rough patch, okay?
we've had 2. We've got out of 78 movies, we've got 2 that we actually would go, maybe 3 that we'd go back and watch again.
Yeah, we're doing really good, I think.
Yeah.
And now, so I was like, I have to do a thematic thing instead. So since spring break is coming up, I was like, let's watch a movie about a trip. And it turns out there's a lot of options for trip movies, and I didn't really know that. But we're gonna go with the one that stars Jackie Chan because I love that guy. And we're doing the movie Around the World in 80 Days.
This movie's supposed to be very bad.
Well, that's what I've heard. But I can't believe that to be true because I love Jackie Chan, and he doesn't do any bad movies. Hands down, I'll tell you that right now. I've never seen a bad Jackie Chan movie.
Well, we're going to find out if Jackie Chan made a bad movie. He doesn't speak English really, and so he learns the entire texts of these movies in English, like phonetically.
No.
So he doesn't even know what he's saying?
Oh my! How would you make a movie like that? That's crazy. But also, that's impressive. That's super impressive.
And this might be a fact that I've made up, and I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm pretty sure I read that years ago.
We need to cite this because I think if this is not true, we need to spread it like wildfire.
Yeah. Started here.
You heard it here, folks. Tell your friends.
Well, cool. I'm ready to go Around the World in 80 Days. Well, it's been one of my favorite franchises. I've been watching a bit of the new David Tennant one that's on one of the channels.
Oh, great. Okay.
So it'll be interesting to compare and contrast.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it'll be easy to compare.
So if you like what you see or hear, leave us a comment or hit the subscribe button or hit the like button. They're all somewhere.
And if you want to leave a comment about your love and support of Camilla, go ahead, guys, because I'm here for it.
Who's Camilla?
She's the Russian figure skater, Dan. God!
Oh, woo.
Wow.
Poor girl. I watched like the first night of her skating, and she was beyond incredible. So
she's really good. She's really good.
She's really good. And she's an incredible skater, and it's too bad she has to cheat because she's a big cheater and doesn't deserve to ever win anything.
Oh my God. We went on a real roller coaster there, Dad. It felt like support. She's great. She's doing beautiful stuff, and she's the worst and never deserves to win.
Knife in the back.
Oof. I got butterflies in my stomach.
The best knife is the knife that hits you in the back when you aren't expecting it.
Oh my God. So true.
So true. So we'll maybe see you next weekish.
Goodbye, everybody.
Hey, watch him!